Matt Beniers having his best month as an NHL pro, and in the starting lineup for the Maple Leafs is Austin Matthews, who has a 9-game point streak head-to-head. Matthew Nyes trying to dig it out of the skates there. He bumps Beniers along the end boards. Tavares continues to battle, and now Seattle able to move it ahead. Here's the veteran Jordan Eberle out there with Jared McCann, and Alexiak was jumping. Here's Beniers, scores! Well, he stays red hot.
Just a simple play, but an easy entry. You can see Morgan Riley just gets beat in the neutral zone. Now everybody's a little bit late coming back, and that quick release. You know, there was an option on the far side with Alexiak, and that block pass comes right back onto the stick.
Cowan able to stuff that on Freddie Gaudreau and turns Seattle back. Around it comes again, back to the line. McCabe with a shot, and Nyes off the boards neatly. Here's Michelli, jumping as McCabe. Michelli over the line, will fire it right on.
Oh, you got to find some rhythm into your game. Spend some time in the O zone.
Turned over here, Catton across, and there's a nice stop by Stolarz. Hot shot, and incoming again. And puck kept in at the line by Matthews. Here's McMahon in the corner. Matthews takes over. Here's Matthews to the side of the net. Domi. But they go to work here looking for an equalizer. Riley to Michelli. There is Nyes. Matthews in the slot. Backhanded, he flipped it wide.
Didn't quite get all of it. Lindgren trying to play in between. It was right there. Maybe the...
From McCann and Eberle. That puck given away in front. It'll be kicked back to Vince Dunn. Fired right on. Matthews. Up top, Ekman Larson, and that changed direction. A rebound, and Daccord another stop. Leafs come close. Side of the net, Domi up with it against Larson. Feeds back up top. Ekman Larson across for McCabe. Rink wide, Domi. Down low, Matthews trying to stuff it. Unable to do so. Gets away from Larson.
Game happens pretty quick, doesn't it? It's just those split-second motions.
Here's McCabe, and that'll stick to Daccord. Been a delay of game penalty, puck over glass against the Leafs that was not called. Here's McCabe stepping up, one-handing that away from Eberle. Scores! What a blast by Nick Robertson. We've seen that before, and the game is tied.
Here's the great example at one side to the other, and watch at the top of your screen. Nick's just for a second nowhere near the puck, and it comes off of the stick of Waugh as he and Eberle are battling, and now bang, it's right into that area. Look at the reaction of Joey Daccord. He never really even saw it. There's a shot ready, and forget about your technique there.
Prior 5 games leading into tonight. Here's Larson, deflected from Schwartz, and a huge stop there. Anthony Stolarz. Looking like the Stolarz of a year ago. It bounced in front again off Stolarz.
He had too much movement, wanted to do too much. Well, there's times when you're just dialed in. There's the reaction. You know, even though he had to make 2 quick moves to make the saves, he's compact. He
gets it outside the line.
Really active shift there by Morgan Riley 3 or 4 times.
Here's Matthews and Daccord. Stick side stop. And the Robertson brothers have now combined for 42 goals on the year. Jason with 30, Nick's got a dozen, and Brandon Carlo whipped it right on. The rebound, they've had a edge in play for the most part since. Ryan Winterton tried to change that. Short side, and Stolarz closing in on Dakota Joshua for the team lead in hits for Toronto. Here's Alexiak, deep in, and he missed the target. May have glanced that off the post, and now we've got a penalty. Here's Dunn across. Jared McCann back to Vince Dunn. Around on the other side, and that'll be absorbed by Stolarz.
Dealing with your confidence. We've seen even the best players struggle with their confidence at times, and that's something you have to just battle through and keep getting better at.
And that is off McCann, and out comes Lorentz. Out of the box is Stetcher. Here's Stetcher, fires rebound. Oh, what a stop!
A standstill coming out of the box. He handles a hard pass, but how about the rebound controls right there? And Stetcher knows, okay, this might be my chance. And as I said, he had a couple of good strides, hard shot, and then the rebound. Just you get to your 10th year in the National Hockey League like Matthews had. That's what happens.
Here's Melanson working in, and a short side shot and a rebound. Winterton had a chance there. And
he has made some beauties here, and this one just holding his ground, staying tight to the post.
Tied up again. Stick almost came up on Kakko. Blake continues, lingering across, and that shot right on. Max Domi again. Here's Matthews behind the net, coming out in front, and Daccord just got a toe on that. Max Domi centers. That hit a stick. McKee moves up, but Seattle is out after a close call for the captain. Now it's Beniers in front, and a panel down stopped by Stolars. Looking more confident there, and as Greg Berube mentioned it earlier today, not trying to do too much. Jaden Schwartz scoots in, hit the back of the net with that centering pass. Kakko off Domi's stick, didn't get to Dunn. Around to the other side, Larson drops it off. Schwartz will cover. His shot kicked away. Rebound scores! And it is Shane Wright with the go-ahead goal.
Of that one back the other way. You mentioned the calmness in goal by Stolars, but it's a rebound right on the doorstep. You mentioned that first game, Shane Wright had a goal and assist in the overtime win in Toronto, and
there's a right from Schwartz and Larson at 6:23, and the Kraken have their second lead of the night. Pretty good row, sifting through center. On the right side, Melanson scores! 2 goals in 31 seconds.
Just an easy entry from all the way back behind the net, coming through, nobody engaging, a little saucer pass.
Got it started in the second, his pass cut off, and now Nick Waugh is back. Here's Waugh, a little room there, and a hot shot by Järnkrok. Max Domi off the boards, and McMahon picks up pursuit of the puck. Crashing in there, coming away with it. Centering, and Daccord able to knock that away.
Over this last stretch of 7 games that Nylander has been out of the lineup, Chris.
How much doubt they miss him. As we start the third period, the Leafs have a couple of Max Domi looking to extend his point streak. And that close call in front. Matthews denied. Riley across, and there's a block. It was high in the air, lumped away, but Riley up with it. Morgan Riley at the line. Scores! Weren't sure right away if that was in. Nice played the rebound, but
you can hear it.
But Morgan Riley's on the board.
Back in the bench after making a great play, but one chance, second chance there. Tavares gets knocked down. This one-timer told him right in the numbers on the back, and that one goes back to the point, and with the wrister through the screenshot in front.
Jake McCabe surveys, Nye's on the move. Can't get it past Kakko. Capo Kakko into Toronto territory. McCabe around. Michelli, his pass broken up. Wright scores! He loves playing the Leafs. Shane Wright doubles down.
Watch the pinch. Simple little dump in. Come around the wall. The plays are made and lost along the wall. Michelli going for the pass in the middle. Great anticipation by Montour. Gets the stick. Look at his stick positioning. He even puts it down. And how about this? No hesitation. Just a quick flick of the wrist.
Montour had it knocked off his stick by McMahon. Back around for Matthews. Austin Matthews trying to reverse it. Lost it. Empty net. And scores. Well, McCann remains red hot.
Well, you know now, it just the one thing Seattle did throughout this 6-on-5 just kept everything to the outside. Weren't able to get to the inside of the ice to have any cross-seam passes, and just the errant pass gets knocked off, and
the clock drains, and the Seattle Kraken have moved back into a wild card spot led by Wright. And a pair of goals tonight. Joey Daccord, good and goal in a 5-2 Seattle win.